All right. We are going to go live.
Are we alive?
We shall see shortly.
We shall
And
see.
we're just checking our phones and everything. I'm trying to restart.
We will
We're
see.
grateful. Hopefully, everybody said we are live. Yes, we are. It looks like we are.
Yes, we live.
You are live. Thank you so much.
Live,
So
live.
if you go ahead and like, tag, and share, we will let everybody know that we are on. Tag and share. I'm getting ready to share my page.
Okay.
Join us now.
Go.
Wow. All right. Join us now. All right.
All right.
So we are ready. Let's see if we have any people coming up in the chat. We are just so grateful. Rhonda, good evening. We have Miss Rhonda on. And I know Tanya and Phoenix are on. We are talking about focus on the family. And this
Focus on the family month.
Yeah. The month is focused on the family month for the month of November. There you go. Hey, Sister Irene, thank you for being on. We're so excited for our guest today. But before we go,
can I make some quick announcements?
Please, yes, go ahead, Bishop.
While we're waiting for people to come on, November historically for the last 28 years has been for us, True Vine Church, the focus on the family. From the conception, we've always been focused on the family. And so November was when we deemed it focus on the family month, because it's also the month of Thanksgiving,
right,
where families gather. And so historically and traditionally, we are always being focused on the family. Hey. Okay.
So we have information about our YouTube. If you want to join us on YouTube, you can subscribe, like, and subscribe. Words for the Soul, first of all, come to uplift, to encourage you, to let you know that you're loved and God has a plan for you. And we are so excited for our guests on this evening. It is such a pleasure and honor. They're going to introduce themselves before we start talking. But
introduce you?
Yeah, I'm going to introduce me. You want me to introduce you?
I introduce you. You
introduce me. Yeah, I can do that. You see, Jay, we just like to have fun.
So
go ahead. You want to start? Go for it.
I have the honor of introducing this woman right here. We started Words for the Soul back in 2020.
Yeah.
When we were discussing how we could keep the congregation encouraged and impacting the community. And I said, the Lord told me it's time for you to come out of the woodworks. And she said, I will do this. This broadcast started up by reading scriptures
and prayer,
and we did that for a couple of months.
Yeah, we did.
And then about almost a year. And then it took on a life of its own, and we started inviting guests, and now we are Word for the Soul, which is deeper and further than we expected, but it's making an impact in the community. So thank you for your leadership.
Oh, glory.
Did you see that coming, did you?
So let me introduce you to the man has been chasing me for, as he
almost
says,
40 years.
He brews my coffee because he what is it?
The scripture said he brews.
But anyway, Bishop is we've been
I made
married.
coffee this morning.
You did. It was really good. He is a man of God, loves me, loves his family, our three girls, Tara, Tasha, and Tanya. And we have our grandbaby, Emery. And
she loves her grandpa.
She does. She just loves her family really so much. And as God has given it for us to focus on the family, as we're doing that, not just on Words for the Soul and different topics, but even in our messages in our church services, how we want to bring things that are relevant to strengthen the family unit. So for those who are coming in, go ahead and like, tag, and share. I see Minister Vaughn, Tanya. Yes, it's making the impact. Thank you. I love y'all. Thank you. Tammy Williams is on. And so Bishop Alexander, he is a blessing. As I say, he always makes me do a double take when he walks by me. When I met him, we were in Germany. He was a dress soldier. I mean, if he stepped out of his uniform, it would stand up by itself. Mine would never do that. Not at all. So That was just beautiful.
It wasn't even close.
No, and then when we started dating, he took care of my uniform.
Well, we started
and
dating.
my boots.
I said we started dating. I said to her, "Bring all your uniform on all your boots. If you're gonna hang with me, you gotta keep up to my standards." So I switched on all her boots.
Yes,
And I starched and matter of fact,
and you still do.
still do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, it was really funny. And when you get started, that was one of my prayers, that I wanted somebody who would iron, because my father, growing up, did all of our ironing. And so I didn't like to iron, and he loves to iron. So I tell you,
I love it.
I'm jealous.
It's my
I
therapy.
want someone to iron my clothes.
I know that's right.
It's my therapy.
So James and Donna, if you guys would introduce yourselves, and then we'll go on to our questions. For you guys who are on, if you had not had a chance to like, tag, and share, please go ahead and do so. Rose, hey Rose, thank you for joining us. Carrie Ann, thank you. Miss Renee, thank you for joining us tonight. We're so glad for you joining us. This conversation is going to be wonderful. Pastor Eunice is on as well.
Minister Vaughn.
Minister Vaughn, okay. So thank y'all so much. So if y'all would introduce yourselves, please.
Yes, I'm Donna Costa, and I've been married to this man for 31 years. We have 11 kids, and 2 of which are under the age of 18, and everyone else is over the age of 18. I am the funny one in this relationship, and I'll pass it over to you.
He believes she's the funny one. I'm Jay or James. Been married with her for 31 years as well, I guess. I'm usually the one, behind the scenes, the tech guy. She's the one with the face for the camera. So this isn't really, my comfort zone, but I'm here to support her and I want to thank you guys for the invite, though. I do appreciate it.
Oh, and we are so glad you said yes. We were both like, yes. So with that, and for those who are coming on, thank you for tagging, and sharing. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and put our first question up. And so what I want to ask, looking back, what was one of the biggest challenges you faced as parents of a big family, and how did you both lean on each other to get through it?
You go first.
Well, we didn't gradually become a big family. We went from one child to boom,
Wow.
big family. So it was a learning, a process. It took, but we just need to. What it is each kid has their own personality and stuff. So you have to treat each kid to their personality, but treat them fairly too. And it's just it was a challenge in the beginning, but she's good at this. So being a mom, so it was easier than you would think. For if you got a support system, it's easier than you think.
That's all
And
right.
we definitely had a support system. I have to just give all the props to one of my sister-in-laws, Kimmy, Jay's younger sister. She came and lived with us for 3 years. And so that helped us in establishing our routine. She was a presence that we so appreciated. So I can't ever tell our story without including her as part of our story and part of our journey. So that helped us. But I feel like part of the challenge was, schedules, appointments, band, orchestra, and being able to show up for folks when it was important. So that has over the years been some of the biggest challenges. And I have to say, we have incredible kids. So they would also show up for each other. And so that made a difference too.
Yeah. And there's times where one kid would have a concert for the middle school and one kid have a concert for the high school, and they want to have them at the same time. The schools just schedule them at the same time. So we have to split our time. I'll take a couple kids to this one. She'll take a couple kids to that one. But we always wanted to make sure that one of us was there for their special events that they had. Even
Wow.
now with the football games, we got a middle schooler and a high schooler. Sometimes, I can't go to a game, but there's always at least one of us at the game.
Yeah.
See, that speaks volumes. Just showing up,
Yeah.
that means a lot. I know there's some people who wish their parents would have showed up and being present. And y'all had 11 children and found a way to show
Well,
up.
that's interesting
That-
because we
yes.
have 3, and they play volleyball and basketball.
Mhm.
And so, and all their games are always on the same day, never in the same location.
Right.
So
Yep.
you come up with a plan. Okay, you go drop this one off. You go to this one. I go to this one. The half we come and support this middle one, and then we switch.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then that's I don't know how we struggle with 3,
3.
but y'all did it with 11. Praise God for
That
you.
is awesome.
Yeah,
That is
because
awesome.
yeah, we well, let me just say this. I wanted a large family.
Yes, he did.
Well, I don't know if you consider large compared to 11. I wanted 6 children, and my wife said no, and I was adamant about having 6 children. I come from a really pretty large family on both sides. My mother, she has a large family. My father had a large family, and there's 5 of us siblings. I wanted a 6, and I just knew I wanted 6. So this wonderful, wise woman
Yes, you know it.
had one of our goddaughters come and stay
Yes.
with us for a little bit. She went and got all the 8 and 9-year-old children from church to have a sleepover at the house. And so when I came in the house was full of children playing, laughing, and giggling. And see, no matter whatever I said, it was funny, and they just giggled all night. So I went into the bedroom and watched TV in the bedroom. I would pop up every now and again and make sure they were okay. And in the morning, I got up early, fixed breakfast, sent them on their way. I said, you know what? I don't think I want 6 children. we would go, I don't need 6. That was challenging.
Yeah,
It was challenging. So that's how we got cured of having 6 children.
it was.
Yeah, she was wise.
Yeah, it was never our plan to have so many kids. I never said, because I come from I have 5 siblings myself, so
Uh-huh.
so I come from a larger family too. But it never was a plan. It just worked out that way, and
Yeah.
I don't regret it. I'm thankful for it. It's been a blessing.
Yes.
Because the kids are great.
Yeah.
It's just even when it's there's hard times. There's more good times than there are bad times.
Yeah.
See, that's-
So it's like we have a sibling group of 5,
okay.
a sibling group of 3, and then a sibling group of 2, and then of course our oldest.
See, that's just powerful. And just seeing what you can do is a family who has love and is committed, while you can bring that family together. I know my auntie, she had 13, and there's just, and the children, were focused and they all were doing well. But when you have love and you have people working together, oh my goodness, that's support, like you said. So for those who are joining us, we're talking about some of the things about what happens in the family. We have Donna and James. So anything that y'all want to put in the chat, just encouraging how you're seeing our conversation moving forward. In the midst of raising such a household and navigating multiple roles, as you just shared, when do you, talking about you two, find a quiet time just for the 2 of you? What are some of your favorite things to do together? Yeah, be thinking about that, sir. Okay.
You don't want me to answer. She don't want me to answer. We just had a conversation this morning. So,
All right.
So I do appreciate the fact that when in the evening time, that's actually when he is much more energetic. I'm the morning person, he's the evening person, and there's this shift of time that we're able to spend quality time together
Okay.
before my body starts doing this shutdown thing.
Mhm.
But we really do. We've always been able to, once the kids go to bed, that's our time. And we talk about, okay, how was our day and what was going on. But I have to also acknowledge that there was a time when that was hard for me. That was hard for me to share about me.
Mhm.
So a lot of that focus would be on the kids.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We would talk about the kids. And I feel like over the last few years, we've really gotten better at it's our time,
Wow.
you know, and we talk about us
Yeah.
and really connect around that. So so evening time, and we do date nights. We go out, and the kids actually encourage that. If my daughter Carol was on, she would tell you that she would always be in support of us going out on date night, because I think that is important. um, when you're in a relationship and you have children, that you don't forget about that first relationship, and that being the two of us.
I like
But
that.
what do you say?
Uh-huh.
It was pretty good.
You know,
I just know that in the evening times we're always in the same room.
Okay.
We don't, you know, she's not hiding in the bedroom and not hiding in the living room, or vice versa. If she's watching something I don't like, I'll still be sitting next to her, and I'll be on my maybe on the iPad looking at something, but we're always
I
together.
like that.
Yeah, and I think that's important, you know, just to be there, you know, even if you're not communicating with each other all the time,
Right.
you know, we're home, let's be together.
The presence, that speaks volume. Thank you, Rose. They go for evening walks. Thank you for sharing.
now, we used to walk a lot during COVID.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
The dogs missed us because we walked them up for lunchtime. All
Yeah.
that. But I think for us, it's interesting you talk about that, spending time. I am not a big fan of Hallmark. However, during this time of the year,
Yes.
October, November, December, I watch a lot of Hallmark with
Yes,
her.
we do.
I'm usually good for 3. Anything after 3, you're pushing it. That's
3
pushing it.
shows.
3 shows. Because it's amazing to me that as soon as a show starts, I can predict the storyline, and I was like, "See, I told you." Right? But that's what she likes to watch, and I watch it with her. But after 3, I'm like, "Okay, we just watch something else now," because it's great. It's a beautiful channel because it's wholesome and
Yeah.
lovely and
Positive.
positive, but they keep recycling the same actors, right? I'm like, was she in the last one?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we
Well,
do.
he's like that when I'm watching cooking shows.
Oh, no. Ooh, that's a good one. I
And,
like
and
that.
after a while, he's like, "Okay, I'm done."
Yeah, it's like it's only some way you can watch the barbecue, you know, like the grill.
Right.
Oh my God, you know. But I watch it too. It too. But there's a limit to how much I'm willing to commit for the night. Right now, we just had this wonderful conversation this morning about self-care.
Yes,
Right.
we did.
And during a certain season of the year, when she's in training, it's a whole different reality.
Yeah.
Because she's up early and she's boxing and doing all of this stuff, building her endurance and stuff. And so when I come home in the evening, first of all, I got to take a nap, because otherwise, when I lay on the couch, there will be strange sounds happening in the room. I pray a lot in my sleep, and I call on the apostles. Right, I even make a few up in the process. So I come upstairs and take a nap, and then I come down. When I come down, I'm ready. We have certain shows we like to watch.
We do.
We like to watch the show together. But I was sharing with her that, you know, sometimes she's tired and she has to learn to rest before because we don't always make it through all our shows.
Yeah, we don't.
Well, I make it through, but she don't make it.
Yes.
You know about that?
Yeah, I know that.
So it's a real thing. Yeah, so that we don't shut down, our bodies shut down just by keeping busy.
Mhm.
So that's good. Thank you, Carrie Ann, for sharing. They said we go on walks too, no devices. We watch movies together or go out for ice cream. Ooh, I like some
I like ice cream. Ice cream. I like ice cream. So
And Miss Vilma said, I love these two. She said she loves you guys.
Aw.
We love her too.
She, now that's another thing we'd like to do, though. We do like to go out to eat. And
Yes, we do.
um,
As a family.
we try to, at least every 90 days, schedule our date nights.
Yeah, we do that.
And our date nights change a little bit when the grandbaby came, but we still have our date nights.
And you know
Yeah.
the thing about it, as you said, your daughter trying to help you make sure. I remember my Archbishop asked my oldest daughter
No,
one
that's
year,
all 3 of them.
when we went over
Went to-
the
yeah, all
during
three.
Christmas.
Mhm.
What does love look like to you?
What does love mean to you?
What does love mean to you? And they said, my parents. I see what they do, and they said they model that. They have that
Yeah.
time for each other. And so, as you're saying that you guys have that time for date night, you're just modeling to your children the important. Yeah, you may have children, but you guys still have to have time for yourselves to grow and to be strengthened. Carrie Ann said we also take a vacation once a year with no kids. Woo!
So Carrie Ann,
Yes.
and Damon, anytime that money you would have spent for the children for the vacation, you got two people right here would gladly go. We carry your bags. We would carry the bags to the airport, to the room, hotel room. We're good.
Well, he's speaking. I don't know about me.
I carry most of the
And,
bags.
you know what? And staycations too.
Yes.
Staycations
do
are wonderful.
We do a lot of
We
staycations.
do that. We
Yeah.
do that.
Mhm.
So that's good. All right, let's go to our next question. You want to read it?
Well, you good.
Okay. How do you approach
That's why I let
those
you read
moments
this one.
when you need to have a real heart-to-heart, especially with how ADHD can affect focus and communication?
That's why I let you read this one.
What are you talking about me?
I was saying this is a question that she would have to answer. She's the one who has the ADHD. She'd have to explain how she focuses.
Jay, you a smart man. I love it.
listen. But you know, I feel like when it's time for the heart to heart, the focus is there. It's the times when the communication is happening when it's not that heart to heart. So there are, and I can't even. I'll forget the times when he's always saying, Donna, did you hear what I said?
Mm-hmm.
Donna, did you hear what I said? And I'm looking at him, and I know he's talking to me, but my brain is somewhere else.
Yeah.
And so I know that has been so frustrating for him sometimes, not just him, but for my other kids as well, especially my oldest, because she really lets me know that it frustrates her, because it is hard for me not to be in several rooms in my house paying attention to everything that, like, what did he say? And she's talking to me, and then I hear someone say something. What did he say? And I'm over here, and there's a number of times, like, Mom, you talking to me, I'm talking to you. That has been the source of frustration for folks, because it's hard to contain me sometimes.
She does that to me all the time. I'm having a conversation and she wants to have a conversation with somebody else in the middle of our conversation. And I'm like, I'm not even done talking yet. Can you at least let me finish my sentence at least? But yeah, that's
you know. I will diagnose. I think she needs to be diagnosed, because this is the issue we have, right? I know I can be a handful, without a doubt, and I know my brain constantly moves and is firing in 15 cylinders. Maybe she'll be firing on 16. I don't know. However, what frustrates me is that when I'm ready to talk, now I'm focused, right? I'm ready to have a conversation, and this beautiful person right here will be in the conversation, out of the conversation. What really frustrates me, though, is when she starts a conversation in the middle of the conversation she's been having with herself.
Yes.
Right. So I'm like, okay, back up for a moment. What are we talking about? Right?
That's exactly what he says.
Yeah. Because
yes.
Yeah, it's like you started somewhere. I don't even know where we started from. Because it's
and
like
the frustration is that you want them to catch up.
Yes.
You're like, catch up with me. Even if it feels like it's the middle of the conversation, just catch up.
We want to catch up, but you got to give us something to catch up with, okay? And we have this, I call her, right? Because I got something to say, but then she is whatever she remembers that she want to talk about, and she's all into this, right? Yes. And then I have to say, stop, freeze. I called you. Okay, that means I have something to say. And it's been challenging. Then let me just say this. I think early on, I was the one impatient, right? Because I love to have the conversation when I want to have the conversation. So one of the things we have to do is turn off the TV.
Yes.
Because I can be talking and somebody who is sitting next to me will be talking, but listen to the conversation. And I can know why she's listening to the TV, because something that happened in the TV will end up in the conversation. I'm like, That's not what we're talking about. That had nothing to do
Do
with
we
what we're talking
do we marry the same person?
about. I think so. Wait. Oh, it gets even better. Then she would go to sleep and take a nap. And whatever's on the TV,
Oh, I can
she
dream
wakes up and she dreams it. And she wakes up and talks about it like it's a reality. I'm like, no, that just happened in the TV, not today, right?
Oh, my
it
goodness.
was challenging.
Oh, God,
At
that is
first,
so true.
it
That
was
is so
challenging
true.
at first. Then I had to make adjustments, and I'm like, okay, it's just Emma. That's how she rolls. But it was. It didn't. We didn't have arguments over it though.
No,
There were some days I walked out of the room. I did because I just couldn't take it because I didn't want to open my mouth and say something that I was going to regret later. Because our mother, told us never go to mad at each other. But that
Go to
plaque,
bed. Yeah.
the plaque said that we should be slow to speak, and so I've been practicing that for a long time.
Yeah.
There's days I want to say something. I have to
I
suck
need
it
to
in.
say
Yeah.
that God has blessed me with the right person.
That's
Because
it.
he is my person, because he truly he doesn't take it personal.
Right.
That's good. That's good.
Anymore.
Right, thank you.
But you know
And
what?
and that's right.
good.
Because
That's
I used to
good.
take it personal.
That's good.
I used to. I did.
And
Yeah.
for those who are watching that who've been married, just getting married and been married several years, there's times that in your growth you learn one another.
Yep.
And so
Mhm.
that's just sharing that, don't give up so quick on a relationship because you're building and some people don't know they even had ADHD and they'll start one thing and then another thing, but learning how to say, I love this person, I'm going to grow with them. Yes.
There's another area I
Yes,
had to
sir.
learn. I'm in church. I
See?
There's another area I had to learn to grow through, and I learned this sitting with your oncologist, and it's
Oh.
called cancer brain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
And she will forget things. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that used to frustrate me
it
because
used to frustrate me.
well, yes. And now we know because sometimes there's something I needed to know, right? Like 2 days ago. And then she said, oh, so-and-so called. And I said, when did they call? Oh, a couple of days ago. Well, I think I needed that information a couple of days ago, but she legitimately forgets,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not. I have to remind myself it's not intentional,
Yeah.
right? Because
I need to write stuff down.
yes.
Yes.
Oh, the other thing is we're trying to help her to do better in is actually using the calendar.
Yeah,
Right.
we're doing better.
We
Yeah.
I've done a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
yeah.
are
Work in progress.
Yeah, we
Well,
are
you
working
know,
on
there's
because
another thing that I need for us to talk about, because those who are neurodivergent, especially
Very
those
good.
with ADHD, have this fear of rejection.
Speak
Fear
on
of
that.
rejection to the extreme degree sometimes.
Ah,
And so early on in our relationship, that any kind of inkling that I felt as if I felt like everything that he wouldn't say yes to was him rejecting me.
mm.
And so I'd be quick to be like, oh, well, he don't let me,
Mm.
you know. And it took years for me to learn that about myself.
Mhm.
Because I would try to be the runner, and not just like leaving, but run internally,
Wow. Okay.
right? And so that's important to know and learn about yourself, because if not, you'll just run up out of relationship,
Right.
literally and figuratively. So it's important to know that about yourself, and for your partner to know that.
Yeah, she married a hard head, so she tried to run, but I wasn't going nowhere.
Ah, love it,
love it, love it.
Now, I need you to repeat what you said from the beginning. You said those who would
Neurodivergent,
neurodivergent,
Mhm.
they have a fear of
rejection.
okay,
Rejection.
I wanna put that in the chat
Yes.
because a lot of people that's something new for them. Like, hey, I understand that now. So
It's that rejection sensitivity
Yes.
that
Yes,
every little thing you're always kind of like, the filter is, oh, they're rejecting me, and it may not be it in like regular kind of relationship, that just goes along with it. But your brain is like, oh, but then they don't love me. They don't care. And then you go down that rabbit hole, and then you get stuck in your head, and your partner, it has no clue.
Okay.
Right.
Or I'm thinking, why are you giving up?
Mm-hmm,
You know, like there's not a big deal. Why are you giving up on something so small? You
Right.
know, something small, and you're making it like it's a big deal. You know, and it's, to me, it feels like she was giving up. And it took me a while to understand that that's just something that, you know, the way that she processes things. So she needs her space to be able to process it. And then we talk about it, and she's learned a lot better to talk. I'm one who wants to solve a problem right away.
Right.
She's the one, it takes about a week or two to solve a problem, but me, I want to solve it in an hour. So that's something that we had to work on.
Like, let me think about it.
We had to find a common ground, you know. I still want to solve it quickly, and she still wants to take a little bit of time to process in her brain what she wants to say. Me, it's whatever. It's unfiltered. It just comes out.
Okay.
It's whatever. I'm not gonna think about it. It's just gonna come out because this is how I'm feeling.
Yeah. And acknowledge those feelings. Okay.
I want to go back to this rejection sensitivity,
I
but
do.
I also think there's a measure of affirmation that we seek, right? Because if you're not listening to me, right, then I internalize it. Then it's like a rejection, but you're not affirming what I wanted to say, or at least affirming my time.
Yes.
I used to struggle with that one, because as the youngest boy in the family, I didn't always feel that I had a voice, right?
Yeah.
And got married and dealing with somebody undiagnosed ADHD, and I felt there were times that I felt that when she shut down, I was shut down. Right? But she's shutting down for a different reason. I'm shutting down because I'm feeling that you're not listening. My time is not worthy to you. You're not paying me no attention. That means I don't matter to you. Those things, right? Now, so when I shut down, now this is my early years, right? Then you ask what's wrong. Nothing, right? I'm in my feelings now. I'm in my feelings, so I don't want to talk now. When I wanted to talk, you don't want to talk. So now that you want to talk, I'm not going to. I know it wasn't right, but that was tit for tat.
Yeah.
And it's clearly that I'm in my feelings. I wear my feelings on my face.
Yeah.
It's in my attitude, but I don't want to talk to you right now. You don't value my time. I'm not going to value yours.
And you know what?
I understand that from the other side.
Yeah.
But you know, I love how you said, you know, we're determined. I'm not going anywhere. We're gonna talk this out, and we're gonna communicate. And we would, for me not to be one that stays up late, if we had to talk to 2:00 in the morning, I was wide awake to talk to you because that mattered so much. So in any relationship, it's work. We tell people, being married is not easy. In any relationship, it's not easy. It's work, but it's worth working for and towards.
Ned, can I talk about my tapestry?
No, we could do that earlier.
No, don't leave it. You know, no, because I think it links to what we're talking about.
Okay,
right?
go ahead.
And so for those, I said it this morning in the church.
Yes,
I preached it to
Did you really? When I was back there with
he
you,
was there, so he couldn't defend
He
himself.
did.
Shame on you.
But now, Jay, when I first went to Germany in 1980, they gave me a room, and it was just a wall, like a desk and a bed. It was blank, right? And I went to the PX, and there was a big old tapestry of Jesus as a shepherd with the sheep.
Yeah.
And one of the, if not the first Bible verse I ever memorized, was the 23rd Psalm, "The Lord is my shepherd." That reminded me. So I bought that tapestry and I put it above my bed. Well, everywhere we've been, I've been, that tapestry been with me. And then when we got married, in every apartment we've had, and now we moved in the home, and it was on the stairway as we're going up. That means that I can remind myself the Lord is with me as I go up and when I come down.
It's going to be in the room now.
Okay. Now, the answer is now.
Yes.
I came home a couple of weeks ago and that tapestry was down. I'm in my feelings now. But the old me would have said something immediately.
Right.
So I stopped. I processed it. I couldn't find it. I didn't see it. And I processed. And about a week later, I came and said,
A day or two.
Was it day or two?
Yeah, that's
Okay, day or two. It felt like a week.
It
Okay.
was not that long.
We got time blindness too.
Yeah, time like that. Thank you.
Hey, in my head, it was a week. Okay, that's the story I told. Anyway, then I processed it and I said, okay, now it's time to ask the question because my level have changed and it's not the anxiety is not as high.
Right.
And long story short, I said to her that when you took it down, I felt like you took down my part of my history,
Yeah.
my emotions, my voice. I didn't feel valued at that point.
Mhm.
And I shared that with her.
Yeah.
And now I have to say this, her response was pretty good.
It was the truth.
Let me tell you what her response was. Nothing.
No, that's
Silence.
not true.
Silence. Then after a while, she said, okay, I'll put it back up. But she didn't say she's going to put it back up in the same place.
Nope.
Look.
Because we're putting new pictures up. So as you know, as you're
Again,
processing,
there was no conversation with me.
but I'm processing in my mind.
Yes.
And
She had the conversation with you in her mind.
Yes, there
yes.
you go. There you go.
And I'm not in that mind. I just want to let you know. Anyway, so long story short, what could have been ugly because I'm learning
That's a good point.
to not to react because I feel a certain way based off of past and other things, right?
Mhm.
That she didn't create that,
Yes.
right? She wasn't part of that history. So she
Mhm.
shouldn't have to pay for that history that she didn't create. So I'm processing.
Ooh.
Oh, well, now
That's
you
good.
want
That's
that.
good.
All right,
But-
erase that part from the.
But you know, that's good.
No,
though.
but
That's good.
I have to remember you didn't create that space.
That's true.
Right.
And so
That's
I like
true.
that. But it is in anything. It's a process. It's
Mhm.
growing. It's growing pains and then how to react to those. But yes, as our family is growing and we have a new addition, we're taking new family pictures and stuff. We put it up on the side of the wall. But now it shall be in our room and he'll be able to see it when he wakes up and goes to bed.
So when I lie down,
Yes.
when I come back, okay.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I love it.
That it's not. I mean, it's I've had this since 1980,
Yeah.
and it's in good condition, not raggedy, because I take good care of it because it's just meaningful to me.
Amen. Thank you for sharing. You're so kind. Jay, you see, we just have fun. We just have fun. On the days when your partner seems especially scattered or overwhelmed, what do you find? And those who are watching, I'm sure if y'all want to make a comment on this, please feel free to. What do you find that works best to bring them comfort, to make things a little easier? And we're going to be sharing some of the things that we do, but what are some of the things that you do in your own family or with your children or whomever, your best friend? What are some of the things that you do to bring comfort? So if y'all like to start off.
Well, when she's scattered and overwhelmed, I try to get her focused on what the issue is, the main issue. Like otherwise, she'd be all over the place. But focus on that and just be there to listen to her.
All right.
Yeah, she likes to be listened to, so I like to make sure I listen to her. So.
Mhm.
And I do enjoy listening to her.
Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
Listening is so important. I'll put that in the chat. We have to listen.
And he really does. And especially this is coming from the person that I'm internal, right? So I'm going inward with my stuff. And so I'm now at this, I've always done that. But that was unhealthy for me. And so now that I'm on this side and truly living in my recovery, being sober minded,
Wow.
I'm much more engaged and want to talk now. And I wonder what that feels like for you, because now I know I want to talk about it,
No, I like that. I like that because, like I said, I like to fix things right away. I don't want things to harbor and linger over to days and days and days. I just want it to, let's try to resolve this now.
Mhm.
And that she's done a great job coming closer to me than me having to come closer to her and to the way that she deals with it. She's actually come closer to me the way that I deal with it and try to, she will let me know, not right this second. But within the same an hour or two, then she's ready to talk.
Mhm.
And I recognize that too. Like she don't have to say it. I just know, like, let me give her a little bit of time, and then she'll be ready to talk about it.
Yeah, because when I'm really overwhelmed, I don't come towards
Mhm.
because it's too much.
Okay.
Let me do this, and he does that. He allows me to do this, and that's when I'm able to go towards him.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking just to breathe. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Well, sometimes I have to recognize that she's overwhelmed and let her know she's overwhelmed. Because
Mhm.
she's a giver, she's a goer, right? And she will give and go 24/7. And sometimes I have to say to her, but I have to be careful how I say it so I don't look like I'm attacking.
Right.
So a couple of years ago, when she first started doing this, what's the name of the club? You remember? San Antonio Roadrunners, and she's getting up on a Saturday morning, going off doing her training. I understood that. I understand that when she's training for the marathon, all that good stuff, right? But Saturday morning used to be our time,
Right.
and we would just lay in bed and catch up with stuff that we didn't catch up with. And I said to her one day, I said, I miss my friend. And she looked at me, she said, yeah, I said, I miss my friend. And I said, if we're not careful, I can get used to this with you not being here. And that was my way of saying, we got to make some changes, right?
Yeah.
If I said to her, you need to stop this, you need to do this, then it wouldn't be right for her self-care. So I had to find a ways to communicate what I was missing without sounding like I was attacking.
And with that, so I don't train in the winter. So like I'll finish this training
in
December when we do the rock and roll.
Who's counted?
Huh?
Who's counted?
Counting what?
You finish your training.
You are.
Oh, I'm definitely counting. Yeah.
And so you need Jesus.
Yep.
So in December when it would be winter training, I don't do that on Saturdays. I stay in and we sleep in together. But it's important to acknowledge I miss you. And when he's doing stuff with work on the computer, his friend, and doing this on the computer or games, hey, I miss you. And so it goes vice versa.
It goes both ways.
It does. And that's when we was and sometime we're just gonna take a ride together.
Yeah.
I don't like doing a lot of shopping, right? But in December I will sacrifice and go shopping with her. I may walk the malls and let her do her thing. I'll be sitting right here when you come back because I will be on my phone. Right?
But their presence,
yeah.
Like Jay said, just being in the same room. And that's what quality time is. And for those who are in relationships, quality time means a lot.
Now,
you're present to one another.
Now I have to say, one of your quality time became part of my quality time. She started going out to get her feet done, and they pushed me for years. I wouldn't go. Right. Then one time I broke down and I went and enjoyed myself. I said, "Why you didn't tell me this was this good?" She said, "We tried to tell you." Yeah. So sometimes our quality time is going to get our feet done together.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Well, thank you for asking.
All right. Let me see.
Oh, wait. Are we finishing the question?
Yeah.
I don't think we were finished because I got some other stuff to say.
Well, go ahead and say.
Because when a certain person is scattered.
Oh, let me go back to that.
So when a certain person is scattered, whose name I will not name,
is overwhelmed, is sitting right beside you.
That's it beside me.
Yes.
I had to find ways to slow her down. Right. And like this morning, we had a conversation where I noticed she has becoming busy again. Right. So I have to say, hey, these are the signs. Right. Now, I'm going to tell you that your friend, Donna, sometimes when I know she's mad, she will shut down, silent treatment, right? Or she has a look on her face like, I don't believe that. And then this is it.
It's like,
and then this is what happens. She reflects and deflects on me.
Yeah.
Right. But you do. I said, wait a minute. We're not talking about me right now. We're talking about you, right? And then I'll be glad to talk about me when we finish you. So that's one of the things she's good at. She's like, whenever she don't find a comeback or whatever, she put it back on me in a heartbeat. Yes. Okay. I will. So one of the things.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
So when I have to learn to bring it back focus again, right? Because the reason I'm raising this point it's because of my observation.
Self-care.
Right?
Just making sure
Right.
that.
Then put it back on me. That doesn't relieve what I'm seeing. Right.
Yeah.
So I have to keep it focused because she will distract quickly.
Yeah.
I'm easily
Yeah.
distracted.
No,
easily.
no, it's not distraction. She's like, I don't want to hear you. I'm gonna tell you what you're doing wrong.
No, I do that.
Deflect.
You
She
do that.
deflects.
Yes, that's
she,
it.
She
Yes.
deflects all the time.
Yes, I do.
Yes, she did. Praise
I'm
the
good
Lord.
at it.
Very good. She's real good at it. She wrote the book on deflection.
Oh, I love you guys.
Well, I just want to just put in here that he gets overwhelmed sometimes too, and so
It's just not us ladies. I know that's right.
right. And so
Hello.
instead,
Ah!
I know that he even more so needs me to be calm,
Yes.
to
Oh,
be
that's
that
good.
calm presence. So
That's good.
I've learned how to be that for him when he
She's good at that.
Oh,
is overwhelmed, and I wasn't always good at that. You know that.
She's good at it now. She's good at it.
Good at it now. Yeah.
Mhm.
She's good at it.
Yeah, I
So-
can be the peace in the midst of a
Well,
storm and things that are
yes,
going on.
yes. Now, I have to say this though. She has the calming presence. Typically, when I get frustrated,
Mhm.
it's because stuff is not in balance for me.
Mhm.
Right? It's not always just overwhelmed. It's just that the
Right.
universe is not clicking on the way it should click, right? And then I get frustrated with people, or get frustrated on the job. I'm frustrated, and I come home, and I'm frustrated, but I don't want to talk right now, and I'm a talker, right? I don't want to mingle. I don't want to go out. I don't want to do that, and that's the sign for me and for her. Then she'll find a way to somehow bring it back to reality, and so. But when I'm frustrated, I don't want to talk. When I'm frustrated, because I am seriously frustrated. And I don't really want to find a language. I don't know the language of frustration. I'm just tired.
Mhm.
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. But I don't want to come home and bring that home, right?
Mhm.
So I try to keep that separated, but sometimes it's just hard.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
But just having a peace, or just saying, get your time, your rest, and if we need to go and watch a movie, or if we just need to talk, but just not questioning. As soon as some people get in and say, I need you to do this, this, and this, and this, knowing when to step back and say, you know what,
Yeah.
you need your time, you need your space. And that comes from knowing one another, spending time, and seeing that. Because go ahead.
I was going to mention she's really good at noticing my signs.
Yeah.
Well, she knows when I'm frustrated and I just need to be left alone. And she's just like you too. Like it could be 2:00 in the morning, and she's focused on what I have to say, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
Because she 2:00 in the morning is not a good time for her. Me, I'm up. Or 1:00, 2:00, I'm up. That's not a good time for her. But if she sees that I need to talk, and that's when I'm ready to talk, she's there for me. And she's
that's
alert.
volumes. That's good.
One of the things I think for me that kind of works me is watching a good comedy. Right, I like comedies.
Yeah.
Right, I don't. Comedies is the releasing of the endorphins and the laughter.
Yeah.
The Bible,
Mhm.
laughing is good medicine to the bone. I just firmly believe in that, because I'm frustrated because my laughter at work has ceased.
Right.
And I'm not. So when I come home, I need to depress, and then I got to watch me a good comedy, even if I got to go on YouTube to find an old whatever that may be, and then the other thing is get on my phone, play my games. I play chess and spades and other things, but they're not games that require me to do a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
I'm depressing and playing the game because it's fun, because I hadn't had the fun at work.
Well, you know what? I'm going to transfer to this question before we do words for the soul, because I go right into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, are there small gestures or things your partner does that makes you feel especially appreciated and loved, even on tough days?
Yeah. Who wants to start off?
Well, I know with her, it's just a simple thing. So when she sees I'm having a tough day, she'll just rub my arm like that. I won't even say anything. I won't even tell her I'm upset, but she knows, and
Wow.
she'll just do a simple little touching, and I think that shows me that she's thinking about me
Oh, see, I like
and that
that.
she's worried.
Mm.
Well, and it's just like those little texts that he'll send throughout the day. That, and sometimes he don't even know I may be having a tough day, and then all of a sudden I'll get a little text, and it'll just like okay, everything's good, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like little stuff like that, or just knowing that I like something, and he'll just surprise me with it, you
Uh-huh.
know. We were in Costco. We love going to Costco, by the way. So we were in Costco, and he was going to get something. So I was with the cart, and so he was going to get something, and I forget what it was, but I was watching him come back, and he came back with some coconut water, because he likes it. It's because, like, oh, there's coconut water, and Darwin likes coconut water, and so he just picked it up and brought it, and I was like, look at him.
And next week, would you say? But I want to correct something. We don't love going to Costco's, but I'll go to Costco with her.
In my mind,
Yes, we.
loves going to Costco.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like
There
that.
with you go.
There goes that conversation in the mind again.
You know, as you were speaking, I was thinking about Bishop is great on when we're in the elevator. He likes to say, "Hey, can I date you?" Or we will be touching each other's bottoms and just say, "Oh, you look good," and just.
I like to play the perfect stranger in the elevator. And then she say that, but I like to, hey, can I get your phone number? She says, I don't think my husband would like that. I said, I'm not asking for his phone number. I'm asking for your phone number.
Yeah.
And I love to watch the people's faces when I'm doing that type of stuff.
And he does it with a lot of people in the
Oh, no,
elevator.
it don't work when nobody's in the elevator. It don't work that way.
So we have fun in doing that and just appreciate each other. Or you know what? When we walk and hold hands, when we first started dating, holding hands was hard for him.
Mhm.
So now when he just grabs my hand and we're walking, I'm like, oh, look at that.
Now, there's something I do every night, right? I make sure that the coffee that we have the Keurig, I make sure that
Yeah.
the water is in the Keurig.
Yeah, he does.
I make
Very
sure the
thoughtful.
dog food is in their bowls. All they got to do is put it down the next day.
A lot of
A
preparation.
lot of preparation that needs to happen so she don't have to do it. So when she
For the
wakes up
next
in the
day.
morning, the next day she wants a cup of coffee, she just put the cup in there and hit whatever she's got to do because
Thoughtful.
because I want all that be done. I wash out my daughter's granddaughter's bottles, everything that needs to be done. Her tray is clean, ready to go. That's my way of showing that I care because
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
it's you don't have to do it, so I do it for you.
Yeah. I appreciate you for saying that, because this is something that he also does, and it's not even for me. Is if he knows, like, one of the kids, they have something late that they have to do, and say, for instance, if their chore is the kitchen, he'll go in there and just start cleaning the kitchen for them. He is so known. When I see him do stuff like that, I'm just like, look at him.
Yeah. Now, I had to say this.
Ah,
If you
you're making deposits
Yes.
into the bank. Yes,
Yes.
you are. You're making deposits.
now,
Those are most of the deposits.
but one of the things I have done and I love doing, and is it actually started as a family tradition when I was growing up as a child. My father would make hot cocoa
Oh yeah, we do that.
every single Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And I started that when we got married.
Mhm.
And then when the kids came along, obviously they couldn't drink cocoa earlier. But when they got older, we started doing it. So to this day, I will still do the hot cocoa on Christmas,
and I make the breakfast.
and they make the breakfast, and it's that traditional Christmas Day breakfast that we would have. I had as a child, and then for New Year's we would always go to Shoney's.
used to. Yeah.
Well, now Shoney's is closed. I don't know what we gonna do, but we'll figure it out. But it's those little family things
yeah.
that brings me joy. It is a lot of work to do the cocoa. It's not hot chocolate. It's different.
Mhm.
I tell for hot chocolate, you wear the packs. No, I'm taking the cocoa and I'm grinding the cocoa. I got it all together. Then I got the pot of milk and I'm
Straining.
boiling the milk.
Mhm.
Then I'm slowly adding the cocoa and it's stirred. It takes time.
It's a process.
And then when you take it, before you pour it in the cup, you got to strain it off. Because you got you got to get rid of the milk, the film on top.
Mhm.
Then you got those
You
cocoa
feel the
grounds.
love.
Yeah.
You feel the
Then
love
you got
when
to
you
drain
drink
it, and then you got to strain it off into the cup. It is work. But when I watch their faces
Oh,
light up, and that's the joy for me. I don't need to thank you, right?
Yeah.
It's to see the face and the joy we did it when the Kayla came with our great nieces. I did it for them this last Christmas.
yeah.
Last
for
Christmas.
Yeah.
They loved it. So I make sure that they went home with a little package of cocoa, and I showed them how to do it. Because that's me, is my love language is working, helping, seeing others have fun. And if they never tell me thank you, I'm okay with that, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But we tell them
But
thank
they
you
do.
all the time.
But I just love to see their faces light up. That's my thanks.
Mhm.
So it's knowing,
He's the same way.
Yes.
and it's good to know your person's love language,
Mhm.
so you know how to appreciate their love language and what they bring to the table. So before we end, we're going to share some words of wisdom.
Mhm.
So we're asking if you would share some words of wisdom to those who are looking on our page. Thank you for everybody who's just joined in. I saw overseer, you just came on in. Thank you for joining us tonight. And if you had not had a chance to like, tag, and share,
Pastor Jeff Mills.
oh, Pastor Jeff, hey, how good to see you here. Well, see you on the page.
Okay, you do good.
And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube page, go ahead and do that as well. All right. So words of wisdom. We're going to share some words of wisdom as couples that have been married for years, over 30 plus years, with 11 children.
They got
3
some wisdom.
children. You guys got a lot of wisdom that you can share. So if y'all would share some wisdom for us.
I think just listening to people, respecting their point of views, and just understanding that you're different, we're different, and know that, and don't take things personal because they may not see things the same way that you see things. You may say something in your brain, you may think, oh, I want her to, why didn't she respond this way? I would have responded this way. Well, they're a different person. They're not thinking the same way you're thinking. And just respect that, and don't take it personal. And I think the biggest thing is just to listen and just be, like you said before, be present for them.
Beautiful.
I like that.
Thank
I
you.
like that. I agree. And also, too, it's just acknowledging that if someone isn't agreeing with you, it's not necessarily that they're against you. They're really for themselves, and not in just like in this selfish kind of way. It's just like they're human.
Yeah.
They're human. They're having a human response. And so being able to see that for what it is, you don't have to, it's not going to always be, raindrops and lollipops, right?
Yeah.
It's not always. But at the end of the day, that's your person.
Yeah.
And I know that God bless me with my person.
All right. I love it.
And he has blessed you
Yes, he has.
with me.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. You want to go first? Or let me do?
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah. I was thinking today, and what words of wisdom nuggets I can drop.
Okay.
And as this is tomorrow, Veterans Day,
Mhm.
I think I want to drop this with a military mindset.
Mhm.
That we in the military, we talked about cohesive spirit and cohesiveness and all of that, and how to achieve that. And I think it's easy to achieve those type of things in the military when somebody in rank is telling you what to do. Right now, my words of wisdom is those principles work, but you have to be able to have buy-in to those principles.
Mhm.
And so to sit and discuss what it means to have a cohesive family.
Okay.
It may not be one way when you grew up is different for me. We have to learn to really cross-pollinate different cultures,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And how to cross-pollinate different ideas, and then how what's going to look like for us. Her parents are different from my parents, and her upbringing was different from mine. I came in with a mindset, this is how it's going to be. And we had to find out what worked for us.
Yeah.
So sitting down and with that whole cohesive spirit came over time.
True.
With a lot of discussions,
Mhm.
trial and errors,
Mhm.
but we didn't take it personal. Well, one time you took it personal.
Mhm.
They told me to go outside the house.
Yeah, I did.
Anyway, however, I learned from that experience,
Yes, you
and we moved on.
And I would say my words of wisdom. I like what Jay said. The power of a touch. A touch is comforting to your spouse, to your partner. Looking into their eyes and seeing, as you guys were talking, just seeing the dialogue.
I got another word of wisdom.
Well, wait till I'm finished.
See, my brain just kicked in. I got to say something right now.
So in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he shall make your path straight. And I would say, for any relationship, that you build it on prayer. And if there's a time you don't know how to, there's a scripture says, Lord, teach us to pray. So ask God to teach you to pray as a couple, as a family, that is be strengthened, that will be loving, that will be forgiving, and God can restore. That's something that's been that had been rifted, whatever. But God is able to do what needs to be done if we just trust him. So those are my words of wisdom.
I got to give a caveat to mine.
Okay, go for it.
So when we first started dating, I would tell her, girl, I love you more than split pea soup.
Yes.
And I would kill a dead cockroach for you.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That was
that was my line.
That was
Nobody else ever used that line. So that's what she said.
No.
No one.
But every now and again, I said, girl, I still love you more than split pea soup. Now I have to say this. One day she cooked some split pea soup.
I sure did.
Yeah.
Just to see. Okay.
And it was pretty good. So I still love her more than split pea soup. And I would definitely kill a dead cockroach for her. I would. So,
Oh gosh. See,
laughter is good medicine.
it is very good medicine. So with that, we're gonna ask if you would close us out in prayer. And then next week, before we close out, we have a special guest, Dr. Epps. Don, you want to share a little bit about her before we get off the air?
Yes, Dr. Fayron Epps will be talking to us about dementia.
Yes.
And also for about how to support caregivers of those who are taking care of their loved ones who may have dementia.
Oh, it's gonna be phenomenal. Y'all
Yes.
continue to tune in. Thank you for joining us this evening. And Bishop, if you close us out.
And before you do, I just again want to thank you guys. This was fun.
Yay!
That means now, Jay, you said that you will be a guest in the future.
Okay.
All right. Love it.
All right. So I pray.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us pray. Loving God, gracious God, as we take this time to focus on the family, there are so many different needs that families are facing. Families are complex and yet complicated situations, but give us the necessary know-how, how to navigate, to bring about a loving, cohesive family. We understand that not everything's going to go the way we want it to be, but to be able to sit at the table, to discuss and come up with a viable solution. But God, we just said, as Overseer Emma said, this is, we got to do this in cohesiveness, but also got to do it with you. We need you as the Holy Spirit. We need you to guide us and lead us into all truth and righteousness. We need you to go before us and make the crooked way straight and the high places low. We need you more than ever before, that you help us to understand what it means to be a family facing the challenges that we're facing and rising above all of those challenges and keep marching in the beat of love, in a beat of understanding, in a beat of compassion, in a beat of where we could say, I can whoosha and stand before my spouse and not be afraid or ashamed to own and to share my feelings. We thank you now, God, that this is a season when we are called to gel together, stronger, wiser, and better than we ever been. So we thank you now for Jay, and we thank you for Donna. We thank you for those that tuned in and those comments in the chat. And God, we thank you for Overseer Emma, who keeps constantly helping us and reminding us that the family unit requires work, but we need to do it covered in and bathe it with prayer. This we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
And before we go off, I did not do a shout out to the Owenses, Elder Owens and Sister Sammy. Thank y'all for being on.
Yes.
I like to just acknowledge those who are on. And if I forgot somebody, please forgive me. Those who are on YouTube, thank you for tuning in with us on YouTube. We appreciate you. And we enjoyed you, Sister Velma. She enjoyed this. Yay!
Yes.
So thank
I'm her
you.
favorite.
Yes, you're her favorite. That's right. Well, we thank you. Join us next week at 6:00 p.m. God bless you and have a good evening.